Welcome to the Philantrepreneur Show, hosted by Dr. Victoria Boyd, designed to offer tips, strategies, and insights to empower nonprofits and entrepreneurs with sustainable win-win solutions. The Philantrepreneur Show is sponsored by the Philantrepreneur Foundation, building capacity through education and professional services.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our special Christmas version of the Philantrepreneur Show. This is Heidi Anderson, founder of Credit Cares and president of Electronic Commerce International, and my wonderful co-host, Dr. Victoria Boyd, who is president of the Galaxy Group and editor of the Philantrepreneur Journal. We are so thrilled to bring you the Philantrepreneur Show. Here we are a week away from Christmas in the midst of the holiday season, the hustle and bustle that they sing about. It is a busy time of year, and as a business owner, we should be mapping out plans for 2014, but we're having too much fun. No. Time to reflect. And we're making adjustments in our strategies, and then that's an ongoing thing. But as entrepreneurs, many of us look at the social impact we've had and what next to do. There's always more to do. Victoria, has your holiday been busy?
Holiday? Oh, is this a holiday? Oh, my goodness. Just kidding. I have been so super busy. This is the launch week of the Philantrepreneur Journal and the whole new interactive website with a membership platform, resource hub, training schedule, and the forum, a community forum where everybody can come together and talk about our businesses, ask questions, start discussions. This has been really busy, and I guess I need to start focusing on the holidays if they're really going to be there for me. So this is one of my favorite times of year. I just love it, memories and family gathering. So Heidi, what are some of the favorite things you like to do in the holidays?
Well, we love decorating our house. I mean, our only child is out of the house. He's 22, so there's no kids running around. So we get to be little kids ourselves. My parents have been giving us a collection of ceramic Santas, which is very appropriate to today's show, from around the world for over the years. We've got I don't remember the count, but I think we've got well over 60 or close to 100 of them or something. But yeah, so then they're little, they're not huge, so we put them up on the shelves. But it's amazing the different images of Santa in different countries and cultures. And the one that I find the most interesting is there's one from Italy called La Befana, who is actually a witch that flies around in her broom and delivers toys to children. It's so much fun putting them up, and my husband likes organizing them, like putting certain countries together and stuff. It's really cute.
Right.
And also our neighborhood's on this little lake, and the neighbors go all out decorating their houses and boats, and there's even a boat parade last weekend, and everybody has parties. It's very, very festive here. But also, we really enjoy thanking our great customers. We send gift baskets of goodies, and we make our annual contributions to the causes we care about.
Absolutely. That's being a philantrepreneur. You spoke about having lights and things. You probably, if you Google Earth My House, you could see it from there. that many lights.
I'll have to do that. That would be fun.
And this is really truly a busy time for our guest today. And we are so fortunate to have him find just a wee bit of time to join us because, we really don't want to interrupt the work that he's doing. And often we don't think about what he does the 11 other months during the year. But what he does is a perfect example of being a philantrepreneur, a business with a heart, serving the community. So Heidi, how would you describe this guy's business model?
Well, we don't hear too much from the factory most of the time, but it is, a benefit corporation, which I think we're going to describe a little bit later. But that means it's legally obligated to pursue social benefits before profits. But how can they make and distribute all those gifts if they don't make a hefty profit? He's created a well-run company.
He must be some kind of business leader. The business and interpersonal skills required to be appointed and honored with this distinction must be extensive. I always thought Santas were born. Just like a Santa. You're just born a Santa. And most of us only use their nickname, Santa. But actually, these leaders are so humble, they let their full name go most of the time. It doesn't they don't make you use it. It equates to when we had Sir Chef Bruno on the show a couple of weeks ago. He's knighted as Sir, and that's how important the Santa prefix is. But enough of us talking. Let me welcome and let's talk to Santa John Hanks. Welcome, John, to the show.
Hello, ho, ho. It's nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
I've known you for a couple of years, and you're a pretty important guy. Tell us more about your
Yes, and you're still on the nice list, Victoria, just so you know. Far.
Okay. So you're making me have chill bumps. Oh, okay. I was worried about that. It's been a pretty
Heidi, you are too.
Oh, thank you, John. Santa.
Santa John, yes. Tell us more about your background that led into this important leadership role.
Well, I'll tell you what, looking back from this perspective, my career has defined itself a little bit differently. I thought as I was going through my career that I was just doing what most people do in making a living and raising a family and so on. But as it turned out, it was all pointing toward what I'm doing right now. I always had this nature about me that was giving, that was, I love my kids and I was always doing things for them and giving stuff away, and my wife was never too happy about some of that. But it was my nature, and when I entered college, actually, I was going to be an actor. And as I matured and my vision got a little better and I wanted to raise a family, I decided to take a little turn into journalism, which is still performing, and raise a family. Now, 25 years later, all of a sudden, I become an actor. The kids are grown, and I'm doing a little more acting, and I get hired as a Santa Claus. And I learned a secret. Then I can't tell you how I learned it, but I'll tell you what it is. There are. I have to tell you that I'm not the real Santa Claus. However, I am an exact genetic duplicate, because 65 years ago, the real Santa Claus, it was, the world was getting more populated and he needed some help, so he cloned himself. And every generation he clones himself. So if he were standing next to me, you couldn't tell us apart. And all the DNA and it's all the same. So there are three kinds of Santas in the world. There's the posers who put on a fake beard and a red suit and just kind of stand there. There's the helpers who, they try, they grow a beard and they help and they do what they can. And then there are the clones. And we are the elite. And so I discovered that about 6 years ago in my professional acting career. And now, every year for 6 weeks, that's all I do. And the rest of the time, I do other things to supplement that. I carry on a business and do other things in the real world, and so that I can prepare to do this in the winter. And that's how I got where I am.
Wow. So cloning, that explains a lot. I mean, because, as the world has gotten bigger, you kind of go, how does he do it? And cloning, Santa was really before his time, really learning how to clone. But that does explain a lot, and I'm happy to hear that. So, but still, even being a clone, there must be some special skills and education that, to be appointed, to be recognized as Santa.
Well, there are certain skills, but they're not always teachable. Now, I like to say if you have, if you are a Santa or if you are inclined, you can't learn some of those things. And if you are that way, you can't help it. So they have Santa associations and Santa schools, and they try to teach them. And a lot of the guys, they'll learn, but the ones who come by it naturally, they don't really need that much training, because I never went to class. I never had any training, but I know what to do. I've learned by experience that you don't open up your eyes all the way because it scares kids.
Well, like you said, you probably comes from your
and things like that.
DNA. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It really comes from your heart.
And
I
then
think
I hear
that's
about
a big part of it.
Santas who just kind of sit there and you talk to them and try to engage a conversation, and there's nothing there but a suit and a beard. So, there's some skills to it, and most of it is inherent as opposed to learned.
Right,
Yes.
right. And that's from the heart. And you give away so many gifts this time of year. And I mean, the money's got to come from somewhere. How do you do it? Do you have other income?
Just between you and me.
Okay.
When I have a deal with parents that I build them, they fund them, and I deliver them.
Oh,
and
partnership.
So. Yeah. Most of the gifts that I give to families are funded by the parents, but they're delivered and created by me. So when I ask the kids what they want, I know what they want, and we work it out. Sometimes where that can't happen, of course, we have, as you well know, we have philanthropists who help out with the cost of it, and a lot of it is just made by magic.
Oh, absolutely. You're answering a lot of questions that I had here. How was the whole business model run? You've actually created what we call our philanthropy model, building partnerships for that strong foundation, so that you have this win-win outcome and relationships. So you built the relationships with the parents, and everyone knows what their responsibility is, and then it's about executing. That's a great business model. And so how were you selected and honored? I mean, because, Sir Santa, I keep putting that in my mind, because
the main man has a plan, and he gets all of the clones eventually find out. And as I told you, I can't tell you how I found out, but it was in my first Santa job. When I put on that suit, it's like the snowman and the magic hat, and he came to life. When I put on that red suit, I already had the beard. The beard was natural, and the tummy was natural, and it was just so comfortable, and so it's like coming home. It's where I belonged, and the kids would line up. The first year I sat in a chair for 2 or 3 hours a night, and I never got tired of it. I never, ever got tired of a little child telling me what they want for Christmas, or seeing the light in their eyes when they see Santa for the first time, or sit down and realize, hey, this is the real Santa Claus. I had one little boy about 8, 9 years old. He came up, and he didn't even sit down. He just looked at me, and he said, "Are you the real Santa Claus?" And I said, "Well, what do you think?" And he pulled on my beard, and I said, "Ouch." And he poked at my belly, and I, cocked my eye, and he said, "Oh, you are." And he was converted, and I get that all the time, even with parents. I just can't believe it. And so it's creating the feeling and the impression, and I just never got tired of it. And so after that first year, I decided, well, I'm just going to do this every year. And then I came to realize that this is what I was meant to do. This was what I was prepared for all these years. And it just happened that the only way that it could work is if you create as you say, a business model and a structure in the real world to support this. Because my motto is, if you want to follow your dream, you've got to have gas money.
Right.
You can't just go out and do it. You've got a lot of starving actors who are waiting tables. 98% of the actors are doing some other kind of job to keep their food and gas going, while the 2% make a living at it. So it's you have to structure it, and you have to do it right.
And you mentioned that. Go ahead.
About multiple streams of income. I was, because we've had some conversation before. Tell our listeners what you mean in terms of multiple streams of income for Santa. The clone Santa is.
Yeah. For 25 years, I was a news reporter. I was a political press secretary, and then I was a government public relations person, and I did that for 25 years. And when I retired from that, I had a master's degree, so I went taught a few classes at UNLV, and then I got onto the Clark County substitute list as a substitute school teacher because I love being around kids and teaching them, not little ones. I only do high school.
That must have been so fun for them, though, when Santa Claus showed up to substitute teach their class.
I have very, very few discipline problems.
Well, that's right. They've got to be on that nice list.
That's
awesome.
Then I built a studio in my home because I record audiobooks and commercials and voiceovers, and I can work at home. And then I teach, and then I do the Santa thing every year, and it's just a wonderful life as far as I'm concerned, with all the multiple streams of income. And
yeah, it does sound like you have a wonderful life. That gives a whole new meaning to that movie too. So I think we are. I was going to ask you if you do this for money or love. I think you've made that completely clear that you do it for love, and the money comes, just comes with it as a result.
Let me add a little clarification to that, because people ask me that, and I have to tell you that the order is the other way around. I did it for love for years, because I'd put on a suit for my kids and my family and my church and this and that every once in a while. But to do it full time like this, to do it all the time, as much as I love it, I would not do it if I couldn't get paid for it, if I couldn't get that gas money. So I do it for the money and the love.
Right.
But
you're doing what you love, and the money follows, right? Kind of just comes with the package.
And that's another model of the social enterprise. You're a social enterprise. You're a true representation of taking what you love, supporting community, giving back, but yet having a for-profit component where you are paid for your services and you can sustain yourself. And that's important, that you can do what you love and still sustain yourself. It's a good message that there's a lot of used to be that double yellow line where nonprofits couldn't cross over into the profit world, but it is now possible to do that. And I'm just so glad that you're able to tell our listeners how you have worked it out through the years and still maintain the integrity of being the clone Santa. That's a real distinction that we now can speak to.
Santa Claus.
Real.
Yeah. Can I give a little TV plug? I love watching the show Shark Tank, because you see there on that show, you see those entrepreneurs that you're talking about, the ones that are totally and absolutely committed and passionate about what they do, and then hoping that the money will follow. Some of them have it right, and some of them don't. So it's got to be done right. And if it is, the money follows, and you do what you love.
Absolutely. And just one other, just looking at, what you were saying, what you were teaching, and I have that you teach crisis management. I was just thinking how that parallels so much to, you have to manage all the elves and the parents, all of your helpers, to get, these 2 or 3 trillion gifts out there in the across the world.
Anytime you've got people, especially in those kind of numbers, you've got drama and you've got crisis. So it's my experience in the news media business and with crisis management has been very helpful in that. And it's all about relationships and just being kind and letting the love pervade everything you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's wonderful. Wonderful way of putting it. Well, we need to take a quick commercial break here, and we will be back in a minute.
Hey, are you a small business owner like me who wants to make a charitable contribution and needs easy access to charitable giving sources that you can automate for your business for free? Then I invite you to visit www.credit-cares.com. They have charitable giving options using their innovative merchant platform that helps nonprofits raise money and helps merchants make contributions at no additional cost to them using the products and services of Electronic Commerce International. Our giving options are easy to set up for small business. So if you have a business entity, we can donate in your business name. Go to www.credit-cares.com and see how you can make a difference every day by doing what you already do. Go to www.credit-cares.com and fill out the form or call 855-782-2737 for more information on how your business can be a difference maker in your community.
Do you want access to all the Philantrepreneur resources and opportunities? Visit thephilantrepreneur.com. That's PHILANTREPRENEUR.com. Register or become a member of the community. Supporting entrepreneurs and nonprofits benefits include training, mentorship, and especially the interactive community where you get to share with your other fellow philantrepreneurs. And for a limited time, all registrations get the Philantrepreneur Journal, a nationally distributed bi-monthly digital publication serving everything philantrepreneur. And following a social enterprise model, a featured aspect is ads for a cause. For every ad purchased, 10% goes to charity. Have community impact via your marketing dollars. In digital format, it's a great marketing tool to send, post, or share, exponentially increasing your reach in a professional publication. Traditional and audio and or video formats are available. Deadlines are on a rolling basis, so don't miss being included in the next publication. Visit thephilantrepreneur.com and click the Journal Marketing Ads tab.
Well, it's Philantrepreneur Show Tip of the Day time. We like to give little tidbits of news or advice for our listener. And as we mentioned earlier, the Benefit Corporation, or B Corp, some use the terms interchangeably, whereas they're actually two distinct items or processes. A benefit corporation is a legal entity formed under legislative government statutes. It has passed in 20 states and proposals presented in 14 more. It is a recognized corporate structure. However, a B Corp is a form of certification offered by B Lab, which is a nonprofit organization. B Lab creates an assessment tool to measure social accountability. Any organization may apply for B Corp certification. I'll have to check into that.
Yeah, I have a lot of information on that in the journal that's coming out, and it's on the website. But let's welcome back our super special guest, Santa John Hanks. He's a strong leader, great organizer, and a people person known throughout the world. And we learned today that he is of special distinction because he's one of the cloned Santas. And I knew there was a difference, but now I know, why he's so special. Okay, so we're going to get a little bit serious here. Santa is a great profession, but I'm sure there are some hazards that some future Santas, whether they're cloned or not, designees need to be aware of. How can someone access or assess themselves if they have what it takes to apply for Santahood? Like in knighthood, John, could you elaborate on some of these?
I know you could apply for knight.
Yeah, like knighthood.
Santahood is knighthood. Are you there, John?
You there?
Uh-oh.
Did we lose?
There he is. I thought we lost him. Oh?
John?
Seems to be a little static at the North Pole.
Yeah, he must be traveling on that sleigh because his voice is not coming through.
Oh, here we are.
Okay. There you are. Okay, John.
One thing I would say about Santahood, as you put it, is that try it, see if you like it. The only way to know is if you do it. I prefer to see an actor become Santa Claus because you really need that kind of communication skill for interacting with kids and parents. And the first thing that I was told as an actor is, don't do it. You'll never make a living at it. You spend your time going to auditions and waiting tables and parking cars. But that's for people who are crazy enough to do it. That's the life that you live. And as far as Santa's concerned, it's very competitive. I went down to Hollywood this year to audition for commercials. I thought, well, how could they not put the real Santa Claus or a clone into the commercials? Well, I went up against 15 actors down there who really had it down, and it's very tough. So I would discourage anybody from doing it in the first place, and only those who really want to push their way through that are the ones who make it, and that's what you have to do. But it's like, and I do more than just, I don't really sit in a chair very much. My main thing is the show down at Fashion Show Mall, and performing and singing and dancing and having a great time with the kids. So you need to be prepared to do a lot of that. As far as hazards, I don't think there are very many hazards. The only hazard would be getting too addicted to it and just spending too much time. I mean, I sometimes have 4 stops in a night during the holiday season after the show. I finish the show about 6:30, and I'll go to 3 or 4 families before the night is over. And it's easy to really get into that, and it can be hazardous to your health for one thing, and you need your rest and you need to pace it. So that's the only hazard I can see. But it's like I say, I'd never get tired of it. It's something that I'd never quit doing and never get tired of it.
Well, it sounds like Santahood is pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, but go ahead.
Well, I was saying I would equate it to be an entrepreneur. That if you don't that whole passion to do it, then you might need to look at something else. What were you going to say, Heidi?
You have to really.
That was exactly what I was going to say. It's the same thing to be any entrepreneur. Really, is there are a lot of people want to have their own business. They have great ideas, but they get out there and it's just, this is just too hard, and they quit. And it's really, like you said, you've got to pursue it. You've got to be passionate about it, and put everything into it to be an entrepreneur or a philantrepreneur or a Santa.
You have to aim high, but you have to be realistic. Head in the clouds, feet on the ground, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, Santa, it has been great having you on the show, and we've really gained some more insights into the relationships, the dynamics of the Santa dynasty, and the cloning, and your example, your work exemplifies the rewards of philantrepreneur.
Thank you. Yes.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to both of you, Heidi and Victoria.
Thank you, Santa.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy day. We know that your big day is coming up in almost a week, and we want to wish you all the luck and hope all of the parents cooperate with you. I'll put a word out there that they need to follow your instructions to make your life easier.
Oatmeal cookies and chocolate milk. That's the main thing.
Okay.
All right. I'll put that out there. Thank you for being on our show. I hope our guests have enjoyed the insider's peek into this world of Santa philanthropreneurship. Santa John, if our listeners wanted to reach you, I know you're busy, tell us your contact information because you do have those side products and service that you could offer to our listeners. So, John, how can they reach you?
JohnHanks.com. That'll give you email, phone number, everything.
That's very easy.
On
the internet, JohnHanks.com.
JohnHanks.com. Perfect.
That is so super. And we spell his name Hanks. So he's a great person to know. So visit his website and see perhaps as entrepreneurs and business people, you might need those voiceovers or some of this work that he does.
Gary, thank you very much.
Heidi. All right.
Merry Christmas.
Feels like a drum roll
Merry
is
Christmas.
needed here.
Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas to you. I'm hearing a drum roll, but we've had almost 3,300 people listening to our show. We just want to thank everyone out there for their incredible support.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And once again, I credit it completely to the amazing guests that we've had. I can't imagine what kind of listenership we're going to have for Santa Claus. It's going to be great. But and if you'd like to be a guest and you have a project to share and you feel like you're a philantrepreneur, please drop us a note at Philantrepreneur.com. The 2014 schedule is filling fast, so reach out today. And I think we're getting into March and April now, so we'd love to hear from you. Our guests make the show, and we'd love for you to be one of them.
Absolutely.
So
join us.
Oh, and also, in honor of the New Year, for the first of the first, our next scheduled show, we're going to take a little break. Personally, Victoria and I are going to take the day off, and we're going to replay our very first guest, which is Mr. John Carr, who is the founder of the Charitable Giving Foundation and just this warm, wonderful man. So please listen in on the first in the morning and listen to Mr. John Carr.
Absolutely. Well, it's been another great show. This is Victoria Boyd
and Heidi Anderson.
Yes, we're trying to make it spectacular here. Saying thank you for joining us, and see you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Philantrepreneur Radio Show, hosted by Dr. Victoria Boyd. Get involved. Follow us on Facebook and other social media outlets. If you wish to share comments or suggestions or appear as a guest on our show, visit www.thephilantrepreneur.com. Contact Victoria Boyd. Email her at theboyd@thephilantrepreneur.com. The Philantrepreneur Radio Show is a production of and sponsored by the Philantrepreneur Foundation, a 501c3 tax-deductible organization.